Now Manchester is powered by TalkTalk's Future Fibre, which has now arrived here in Manchester. Future Fibre broadband is ultra fast and ultra reliable, with speeds up to a whopping 500 megabits per second. It's fast enough to handle anything you throw at it, plus you can connect over 75 devices at once, so bye-bye fighting over the Wi-Fi. And as if it couldn't get any better, Future Fibre plans now come with an Amazon Aero mesh router, so you'll get the latest in Wi-Fi 6 tech for free. To see if your postcode can get Future Fibre, search TalkTalk Future Fibre now.
Well, a very good evening to each and every one of you, and welcome to this week's episode of Your Manchester. I am Belinda Scandal, and I'm joined by the very gorgeous,
stunning,
incredible.
Look, a vision in green, a vision in red.
What's this? What's this, please?
It's for World AIDS Day.
Well, of course it is, because we are looking at that today, everybody. We're looking at it, addressing it, and dealing with everybody, as we are joined here with Darren Knight from the George Ives Trust and Rob Cookson from the LGBT Foundation. What else is on the show, Brandon?
Well, we've also got Ritchie, who's here from 5.
Right.
Yeah.
And bring me sunshine, hear you fly.
You'll see, this is the only song we know of this.
It's the only line we know of it as well, isn't it? That is, of course, Eric and Ern, who are embarking on one heck of a massive tour that has lasted so far for 7 years.
Yeah.
How's your week been? You're a bit sniffly today.
It's a bit cold. It's getting colder in Manchester at the minute.
It was nice when the snow was all
but wasn't you see? No, that's the thing. I like to look at it,
yes,
but I didn't want to go out in it.
Go out in it?
I was like that.
No, I didn't like going out in it. It's not good to walk around the snow in heels.
I'd say not. You lose half an inch, love.
I did. I went to the Wiz at Hope Mill.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was their press night. It's such a good show.
It was a good show.
Everybody should go watching that. I went to there, but the Uber driver messed it up a little bit.
How did he mess it
So
up?
I had to walk the majority of the way in the snow, which was then kind of sleet, to the theatre.
By then it was slush.
And by then I was sliding. It was as simple as that, to be completely honest with you. It was...
What an entrance. You slide on into the
I was
theatre like, I'm here.
Straight into home. I tell you, it was fabulous. It was good. What else happened this week? I must just tell you.
Go on, tell us.
As well as Ezra and Gil doing these gorgeous pancakes.
Of course.
They're also doing some lovely, lovely coffees.
Oh.
All right, so that was lovely. And I also embarked upon a lovely place today, which we're going visiting in a few weeks.
You went to the Reynolds Hotel, didn't you?
I went to the Hyatt Regency Hotel.
Oh, sorry, it's fancier than I thought.
It is a lot fancier. I had a little walk around there today as well, and that was just beautiful. And we're going to be doing something from there, maybe for our little New Year's Eve spectacular.
Oh.
So it's all going on. But listen, I've been most excited this week, Brandon, about meeting one of my pin-ups, shall we say.
I hope you've told him he's a pin-up.
He was a pin-up of sorts. He was stuck to the walls on a regular basis, which was it was Blue Tack, it's the future. And he was part of a group called 5, and we spoke to him before, didn't we?
We did.
And this is what he had to say. Our next guest is a pop sensation, along with his other mates, everybody. You might recognise him. In fact, you will recognise him from the group 5. Ritchie Neville joins us now. Hello, Ritchie. How are you?
Yeah, very, very well, thank you. Very well. You can come again. Pop sensation, I like that.
Oh, he'll take that.
Well, you are, though. I mean, you've had such a successful pop career, and there doesn't seem to be any dwindling on it. What do you think the success of 5 has been so far?
I think 5's got an interesting mix of people. I think 5's got an interesting mix of music. We don't just do one thing. We can do a ballad. We can do something rocky in your face. We can go funk. We can go dance. I think it makes for interesting viewing, and it's all about, more about sort of the live experience now, and we go bananas on the shows and stuff. So yeah.
Well, obviously, you were quite a popular group back in the early 90s and the late 90s. And
not the early 90s.
Sorry, late 90s. I wasn't even born yet.
It was late 90s and noughties.
Late 90s and noughties, but you sort of you've taken a bit of a break from that. And it's quite amazing. What made you guys come back to music then after such a large break of 21 years, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not been that long. We actually reformed in 2013 for the big reunion. And that's what sort of brought us back together, you know, for the TV show. And then, you know, I'd had over 10 years out, and I just felt like it was like being introduced to an old friend again or something, you know, getting back on stage and doing the tunes. It was something that I'd given up on completely. I actually owned a restaurant and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just, you know, and then it rolled on from there. You know, we just kept getting offered gigs, you know, around the world as well, and festivals and this and that. And it was like, well, you know what? This is a really, really beautiful way to make money, and to make your living is to go out in front of loads of people.
Absolutely.
For me, it beats, you know, my interests, it certainly beats owning a restaurant. So yeah.
You're like, I'd rather be singing to the public than going, hi, what can I get you?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And of course, you've come back now with the double A-sided single Shangri-La and Making Me Fall, which is just done remarkably well. What's the message behind them two songs, please, Ritchie?
Okay, so how we got recording music again, we'd never been in the same sort of space mentally to sort of get recording. And during the lockdown, everyone, obviously, it's been a terrible 2 years, and we were completely restricted out of work. And we just, to give people some joy, you know, give our fans some joy, we did a remix and a kind of a re-recording when we could like meet up and stuff of Keep On Moving, which then snowballed into making more music and that kind of thing. And then we thought, well, what are we going to do? Sit on it? Or should we just put it out? So we're putting it out. Here we are.
It's amazing.
It is, no, and even up to last week, it was Friday, you just released a new single, which Time, I think it was called.
Time, yeah.
Very different to your usual stuff, that I have to say. I felt it was quite emotional. What created that sort of music to come from you guys when people know you for being such a pop sensation?
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, you're never just one thing, are you? You're never just in one mood. So, you know, yeah, we do like to funk out and we do like to rock out, but, you know, that is another aspect to us. We're all fathers now. You know, we've you know, we turned corners, we felt pain, we've got philosophical in the back of vans and stuff. And I suppose that's that side coming out. But it is a bit of it gets you that song. I mean, I've yet to hear
100%.
anybody not say that. Yeah.
And of course, that's on pre-order on from the 3rd of December. And then you're coming back with a theatre tour, and as well as the 90s Baby Arena tour. I mean, that must feel amazing that you're still successful, prominent, and needed enough to still be carrying on doing all these things.
Honestly, you literally count your blessings every day. You know, I mean, the shows, that's what I mean, in the past 10 years, and have just been huge. The people have just been enjoying it so much, and it just seems to keep rolling on. You know,
it keeps on moving.
Exactly. Somebody had to say it, but no, it does. You know, it's truly a blessing. You know, that kind of whole, you know, just giving thanks and stuff. Well, I do every day for being able to do that.
So can we expect to hear any more new singles coming out in the next year or so from Five? And what can people expect from that type of music then?
Look, there's always going to be, you know, if we do any more, that it will always be generally up-tempo, you know, and kind of fun. But, you know, sometimes we like to throw a curveball in there. But, you know, the album's not out until January. It's available for pre-order, like you said. And, you know, so we're going to let that have a little bit of life before we start thinking about anything else.
You keep going, because you've always been one of my favourite little boy bands. I don't know what it is, everybody, about their lovely music, but there's just something about these three keeping going at their beautiful time of life that keeps inspiring me to keep on moving, indeed. So for now, Mr. Neville, thank you so much for your time, and have a fantastic 2022. Thank you.
No worries. Big up, Manchester.
Isn't he gorgeous?
My new thing that I think we should do. I think we should all go pop. Who needs your Manchester? We've got pop.
I know, it's bizarre, isn't it? It's a strange old situation. That was weird for me, you know.
Why?
Because There was him, and there was the Ben Adams from A1, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so is my favourites there. I did like Adam Rickett for a while.
We should have our own band. You know,
We could do it. What would it be? A boy band or a girl band?
I was just going to call it the Ginger and the Twink.
Do you know what's funny about that? Not the fact that you really think I'm ginger, the fact that you still think you're a twink. That baffles me. It does. We've had an interesting week, everybody. Obviously, we are thinking about the wonderful shows. And in just a little while's time, stay tuned because we're going to be talking about World AIDS Day. It is the 1st of December, and it's very important to do so. But we started off the show talking about bringing me sunshine, and we hope that's what we do to you every Wednesday here where the city comes to talk. But in the meantime, two people are carrying on a legacy, Brandon.
A legacy and a half.
And longer than that as well.
Longer than that.
And longer than that. We are, of course, referring to the works of Morecambe and Wise, or in this incarnation, Eric and Ern.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
Have we got time for any more?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, good.
Bring me sunshine in your smile. I ain't got a dollar, I'm not with a cent. Ding! I'm singing, Bob.
He's singing, Bob.
She doesn't holler, she live in a tent.
Hey! Hup, 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 hey! Hup.
Bring me laughter all the while. You're not seriously going to do some ventriloquism?
Very similar. Hello, Charlie. How are you? I'm very well, thank you.
I can see your lips moving.
Of course you can, you fool. Because it's me who's doing it for him. He can't do it on his own. He's wood. Great! What are you, a waiter for Open the Palmers? Hey, it's clever, isn't it? In this world where we're in, there should be more happiness.
Shakespeare?
Hey?
Shakespeare.
I've no idea who he is, Ern. It was just handed to me when I came on. What do you think of the show so far?
Mr. Memory!
Arsenal! Get out of that. You can't, can you, eh? You can't.
Now, in your spine.
We're supposed to go on to the end of the first verse. I don't know why I work with I don't. In this world...
I don't quite know how to put this.
Yes?
I still haven't been paid.
Who is it? The BBC? Yes, I'll accept the charges. He's not going to sell much ice cream good at that speed, is he? What are these?
Bongo.
Just watch it. That's all. What are these?
They are bongos!
Well, does he know you've got them? Can he say fracas? No. Fracas.
Bring me blood, bring me sunshine, bring me love.
How are you both?
Hello.
Are you bringing us sunshine to make me smile? Eh? This is going remarkably fantastic. Well, first of all, let's focus on the success of the two people that this all comes from, which is, of course, Eric Morecambe and Ernest Weiss, as I like to call him. What was their success? Why were they so successful, in your opinion?
They were funny, basically. Absolutely hilariously funny. And that's why people still love them now. I think the most important thing about Eric and Ernest is they appeal to everybody. Mums, dads, grandparents, kids, all of us watch Morecambe and Wise. And also, of course, they started off in the theatres, didn't they?
In vaudeville, yeah. They learned their trade working their way up the bill way back into the 30s, wasn't it, Jonty? 40s, child performers.
So they were 20 years doing it before they had a sniff of success, which I think gave them their longevity, you know.
And their relationship, you could see they were like brothers. They loved each other. It was a genuine friendship, and it's like me and Jonty. You can't fake that. I tried, and it doesn't work.
I try it too every day across the table. Don't worry.
Oh, darling, tell me about it. Tell me about it. You know what I mean? Tricky or what?
So, you're obviously not impersonating them, because having seen the show a few times, you're them, and you really are, and you're living up to everybody's expectations of watching a live show with them. But it's so much more. What did you inject into it to make it your own?
Well, I mean, I think for us, for Ian and I, we're fundamentally actors. And the first show that we created about Eric and Ern was a play about their story, about their relationship. So we researched a lot and approached it as we would as if we were portraying a role in any play. But of course, these two people are two of the most well-known people in Britain.
Yeah, we started off trying to. There's a tape of them live at Fairfield Halls, and we watched that a lot. We literally started off trying to mimic every move and intonation. We soon discovered that was the wrong thing to do. So we put that to one side. We learned the lines, and Jonty and I have this relationship. We've known each other for 38 years, so we're like the boys.
We were 2 when we met.
Yes, exactly. I was a child star, but so that's what it is. It's our friendship and our timing as mates as well. That makes it work as well, I think.
Well, obviously, it's quite a comedic show, especially obviously about who it's about. And Jonty, you've done. I hope for this one too. It's fine. Obviously, because you've done quite a bit of soap work and sort of seriously drama sort of things. So was it a big difference for you to go from doing so many serious roles to a comedic one, or was it quite an easy transition?
Do you know what? I mean, the thing is, I think Ian and I are both. I mean, I'm a massive Morecambe and Wise fan, and Eric and Ernie have been my sort of heroes since I was a kid. So to have the opportunity to try and portray Eric has been an absolute dream, really, and I couldn't want anything more. But approaching it, yes, it is a bit different, but it's all acting is still the same, whether it's drama or comedy. I would say comedy is harder. That's what I say. I think somebody said, I think it was John Gielgud said, dying is easy, comedy is hard. I think that
absolutely.
That was just before he died, which was a shame, really. But
shit, we never got anything better out of him, but it's great we got that.
No, I mean, we've done all sorts here tonight. We've done comedy, drama, whatever. But this is a joy. This is a joy.
Yeah.
And how is it that you're still going with this fantasticness? I mean, do you ever get bored of it? Is it ever too much slipping back into these legend shoes?
No, it's funny. We've been going off and on for 7 years. And somebody said the other day, "Do you get bored doing it?" And we don't, because every night we're gone as Eric and Ern, and the love and the affection coming from the audience is amazing. And it's you're making people laugh as Eric and Ern, doing some of the greatest comedy that was ever written by Eddie Braben. So it's a dream to do, and every night is different. Every night is different. And
do you know what's really confusing me at the moment? Is oh, there they are. I was just about to say what's confusing me then is the wrong person's wearing the glasses. It's confusing me. There we go.
So obviously you guys are on at the Lowry from the 6th to the 12th, and then you're coming back. But this month in December, that's our dates I'm highly sure of. What can we expect to see from the show then?
Well, quite a lot of funny things, we hope. No, seriously, no. You'll see sketches that you know and love. That you'll really remember and resonate. Some of the punchlines that we all know and love, and there's some new stuff in there that we've done as well, isn't there? In the style of Eric.
And there was a lovely line. We met a lady 2 weeks ago after Liverpool, and she said, "I used to watch Morecambe Wives with my mum and dad and all the family." And she said, as I was watching it, I remember wishing I could be there in the studio watching Morecambe Wives. And she said, "Tonight, you made my wish come true. I thought I was in the studio watching Morecambe and Wise."
Oh, that's
because
so
the family have come to see this, and the family are totally in awe of what you do, haven't they? I mean, the Morecambe and Wise's family, they think it's fantastic. There's never been any slight against you for doing this.
Not yet, there hasn't, but we're waiting.
Not yet.
Give it time. We've still got a tour to do.
Just before we let you guys go, sorry, go on.
Sorry, no, the family have been very supportive, and they see the scripts and we go through what we're going to do, so we do it in the right way. Yeah, we're very grateful to have their support. They're lovely people. You couldn't meet nicer people. I mean, like Eric and Ernie. I mean, Eric's children, Gary and Gail, who we know, and the estate and the Wise side, they're just lovely people. We're very lucky.
Well, just before you go, we have let people know that you're on our show today, and they have asked us to ask you if you can possibly just do maybe a little bit of Bring Me Sunshine, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
It'll be better than my rendition.
Are you ready?
Ready?
3.
Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness.
Forget the delay. There you go.
That's not easy singing a duo.
Do you know what? That just goes to show whose broadband's better. Clearly, one of you is on Talk at the moment. Lads, thank you so much for your time today. And the best of luck with your wonderful show. And we'll be there to watch you as well. So I'll come and say hello.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you. Amazing stuff, isn't it? Amazing. I can't wait. I'm going to watch it on Monday.
You're going to watch it on Monday?
I'm going to go watch it on Monday.
And you're going to sing that one line that we know.
You never know. I might actually learn a little bit more.
You might actually.
I might know the whole thing by then.
Yes,
I tell you, theme tunes though. Theme tunes are very important.
Theme tunes are very important, and it's getting darker at night, so it's time to go inside, cuddle up, and switch on the telly. Here's Haley to tell us what we can watch.
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to this week's On The Box. How's everyone doing? Now, I know I told you last week that I was going to do everything Christmassy from this week, but there are some recommendations that I can't not recommend. So here we go. The first of all, there is a documentary on BBC iPlayer all about Freddie Mercury, The Final Act. Also, the L Word Generation 2 Series 2 is now available on Now TV and Sky. And there's a really great film called Tick Tick Boom on Netflix. And that's a biographical musical drama based on the stage musical by Jonathan Larson. And now for something Christmassy. As promised, A Boy Called Christmas. It's available on Sky Movies and it's about a boy and his pet mouse and a reindeer who set out to find his dad, who is on a quest to discover the fabled village. And that stars Maggie Smith, one of my favourite actors. There is also a wonderful series. It's really sweet. It's called Dash and Lily. That is also on Netflix. Each episode is only about 20 minutes long. So it's dead easy to just watch with a hot chocolate and chill out. It's really cute. Dash and Lily, they trade dreams and desires in a notebook and they pass that around New York for each other. Each episode, like I said, is about 20 minutes long and it's perfect to watch. Like I said, in an evening or on a Sunday with your hot chocolate or with some alcohol to warm you up because it's absolutely freezing at the moment. And that's it from me for now, I think. I think that'll keep you going for a while. So I will see you next time. And remember, stronger together. Bye.
So there you go, a few things to watch on the box there, everybody. It's a very busy night tonight here at Your Manchester. And straight after this, I will be dashing over to Eagle, everybody, on Canal Street to perform there because it is the 1st of December and that is, of course, traditionally World AIDS Day. Yes, indeed. So this is where we're going to sort of look at what's gone before us, what's in front of us. And to deal with that, we spoke to a gentleman from the George House Trust. His name's Darren Knight. This is what I had to say. Well, of course, it is World AIDS Day today, and we wanted to look in depth into the two charities within Manchester that deal with it the most and why it's still so important to so many people. So, of course, we went straight to the top of the George House Trust to speak to Mr. Darren Knight. Hello, Darren. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Why is World AIDS Day so important for people to deal with on the 1st of December every year?
I think that the day is massively important. So we've marked it for many, many years now, and it gives us an opportunity to reflect, remember, but also take action and raise awareness because the battle is not yet won. We've made so much progress with regards to HIV in this country. It's absolutely amazing, but there's still a long way to go. People are still being diagnosed, and we've got great things on the horizon, like the 2030 hope for ending new transmissions of HIV, but we're not there. And ultimately, we've had 40 years of the HIV response and we're still responding.
It's fantastic. It's obviously, you know, it's such a day that people remember who they've lost, who they've gained as well, because I know quite a few people who have contracted HIV and AIDS who have almost met more people like them and been able to make partnerships and families out of that that they didn't realize was there. Do you think such a day like this really brings more people together?
I think tonight at the vigil, that's an important point of bringing people together, but also the people that come through the doors at George House Trust. There is a solidarity and camaraderie with people living with HIV. Often people can't talk to the families, people don't talk to the friends. It's a very private virus because of the stigma that's attached to it. And the way that we tackle stigma is by getting more people talking about it. And we get more people talking about it by raising their confidence and giving them the support. So that's why George House Trust is wholly focused on inspiring people living with HIV to live healthy and confidently.
Do you think the stigma around HIV should be ended now? Is there a reason why people have still got stigma around it?
Well, I think that if you look back into the 80s, the big campaign, the tombstones, those things are etched into people's minds. We still hear kind of the myths around HIV, catch it off cups, toilet seats, all that kind of thing. That's still around. So that stigma's perpetuated. But ultimately, we've got to be really quite honest that most people, particularly in this country, but you know, around the world, get HIV through sex, and we don't talk openly about that. And the other issues are drug use. And so it's kind of when you kind of compound those factors in, and then you look who it, you know, kind of mainly affects in this country, which is men who have sex with men, and also Black African communities. There's racism and homophobia in there. It's a big melting pot of hate, shame, fear, and that's what we've got to get over. So it's a big job.
I suppose that a lot of people wouldn't take into account the race side of the HIV. Perhaps tell us a bit more about the Black people that come to you with HIV.
Yeah, so I know that Jeff from my team's been on your show, so thank you very much for having him.
No problem.
Ultimately, there is a big, you know, kind of need to be addressed. It disproportionately impacts Black African communities and other Black, Asian and minority ethnic communities as well, in the same way that it disproportionately impacts gay and bisexual men. And so we need to make sure that those messages get out to those communities, that they have the support they need. And that's why George House Trust is proud to work in partnership with both LGBT Foundation and BHA for Equality in tackling those populations and providing the support and information to really where people are in communities, doing some real grassroots community work to make sure that people have information about testing and they know the status and have the support they need if they're HIV positive.
Obviously, we've had such things like It's a Sin, which is sort of put it back in the public's main eye almost, because that was sort of show that wasn't just like LGBT people who had watched it. It was quite a whole range of people that were interested, and it definitely opened up for a lot more people's mind. Understanding untransmittable is words. What's the thing? Untransmittable.
Yeah.
And things like that. So for anyone watching this show right now, what would you say to them that might be struggling with finding out this information?
I think the most important thing is know your status. And so that's the best thing. And once you know your status, if you are HIV positive, you'll be put on treatment. You'll take 1, 2, maybe a few more tablets per day, and that'll manage it. And ultimately, as you say, undetectable equals untransmittable, which
That's
means
is the one. I was like, untransmittable. No, undetectable equals untransmittable.
No, I'm impressed, so that's good. But ultimately, that basically means that the amount of HIV in your body cannot be passed on through sex, and so through unprotected sex. So you kind of can't pass it on, I think is the simplest message. And it's that you can just have a normal, healthy sex life. I've been making a few comments over the past couple of days about HIV equity. And so what the good thing is now is that people living with HIV will not die of HIV, providing it's caught in time. They'll die of heart attacks like everybody else. Isn't that great?
Oh, great. You're gonna die like everyone else. It's fine.
But that's a really, really positive achievement in medical science, down to some amazing people and activists over the years that we've achieved that. And we just keep learning. So new HIV injectable antiretroviral drugs are coming along next year. There's been a lot of news about that recently. We've got PrEP, which I'm sure Rob will be talking about from LGBT Foundation. There's all sorts of great stuff. It's just progress after progress. We've just got a little bit of a hill to climb to get to that no new transmissions and then end the stigma.
So George House Trust, a very prominent charity around all that we've talking about today. Why should people and why would you invite people to come and utilise your service?
Because at the end of the day, living with HIV, most people can they just go to the clinic, get the medications, get the support they need. But some people need additional support at different points in their life. So it might go wrong, relationship breakdown. You just might want to talk to somebody about your HIV. And that's what we're here for. We do counselling, we do peer support, we offer welfare grants. There's so much going on behind the doors at George House Trust for the people that need us. And it's just about people being aware that we're here. So if they do need us, they can come over our doorstep and have the support that they need.
So I literally just need to grab
There we go.
Oh, we're on. There we go. Sorry, we're just planning the.
I'm taking nowhere.
No, I lost it now altogether. I tell you what, let's have let's have a look at what's on.
Here's what's happening in Manchester over the next few days. Irving Berlin's White Christmas is still running at the Palace Theatre until Saturday, and it's a busy few days at the Opera House with the 80s live tomorrow night. A night at the movies with the Chicago Brothers on Friday, and on Saturday, Let Me Entertain You, a celebration of the music of Robbie Williams. From Saturday at the Royal Exchange Theatre, it's The Strange Undoing of Prudencia Hart, a wild musical play that sees Scottish folk songs collide with decadent karaoke under the direction of Debbie Hannon. James and the Happy Mondays are performing at the AO Arena on Friday. The gig marks 33 years since the two factory label bands toured back together in 1988, and it promises to be an exciting reunion of two of Manchester's most celebrated bands. Starting Friday at the Stockport Plaza, it's this year's Panto Dick Whittington, starring Brian Capron and Bradley Thompson. Deacon Blues Cities of Love tour arrives on Sunday at the O2 Apollo, and also at the Apollo on Tuesday night, you can see comedian John Bishop, who of course is currently starring in my favourite, Doctor Who. Don't forget, if there's an event you'd like us to tell the whole of Manchester about, just drop us an email. Contact us at yourmcr.com.
Well, this is turning out all right, isn't it, everybody? I tell you, we've had a minute of mojo, but we just can't seem to find it. There must be a space in between or something. Not to worry. As well as speaking to the George House Trust this week, stop it now, it's serious. We've also been speaking to the LGBT Foundation, which was good, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I like learning. I like being educated. And this is Rob Cookson, and this is what he had to say. I mean, this is a big day for you all, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really big day. All the team is sort of in loads of different activities, actually right across Greater Manchester, not just Manchester. We've got a lot of team doing outreach work, and obviously we get media requests, and yeah, it's a really busy day.
It's a strange day because it's a celebration, but also a look back at what was wrong all the years ago. I mean, how do you come about putting this in place every 1st of December? What happens?
I think it's a balance. I mean, we've got the vigil later, so that's at, this evening at Sackville Gardens, and I think that's a real opportunity for remembrance. But it's also an opportunity to remember how far we've come. The first cases of HIV and AIDS were identified in 1981, so it's 40 years now. Actually, people can live with HIV a very long and successful life, so people don't just live with HIV but thrive with HIV. So it's a real team effort. So
what do you do on this 1st of December then? What happens today?
So we do a lot of awareness raising events. So we obviously promote the importance of the red ribbon.
Yes.
So the red ribbon's really critical to sort of people understanding HIV, understanding the context of it, showing their visible support. We have a lot of conversations with people. We've been doing HIV testing at GAY. We've got a big fundraiser at Eagle later, so massive thank you to all the bars and venues and everyone who supports us.
And our lovely red jacket.
In my red jacket, doing my best little sing-a-thon over at the Eagle. Yeah, I do. Well, allegedly. I want to talk about the testing because I want people to fully understand that it's not a complex thing to be tested these days, is it?
Testing is easy. It's never been easier than it is now. Lots of options to go to get testing. You can free HIV sites that online. There's LGBT Foundation website that you can go to. And it's really easy. It's really simple. You've got lots of different choices. So you can go to the sexual health clinic and get a HIV test and other sexually transmitted infection tests. But you can also order them in the post. You can get them in the post and just actually test yourselves. And the thing to remember is that lots of people take a HIV test every single day, particularly not just on World AIDS Day, but every day of the year. It's really simple. It's really easy. You can, if you are a little bit nervous about it, you can contact the LGBT Foundation, and we do HIV testing, and we can do some support around that as well. Ask any questions. It's so much easier to get tested now than ever before.
It's a strange time looking back at it. I remember the advert when it was put on television, and that advert was so negative towards what it was all about.
There is now a danger that has become a threat to us all. It is a deadly disease and there is no known cure. The virus can be passed during sexual intercourse with an infected person. Anyone can get it, man or woman. So far it's been confined to small groups, but it's spreading. So protect yourself. And read this leaflet when it arrives. If you ignore AIDS, it could be the death of you. So don't die of ignorance.
You know, as me growing up, figuring out who I was and what I was, it was kind of, you put the two and two together. If I was figuring out I was gay, then therefore I was figuring out I was going to get this. And that just wasn't the way, was it?
No, absolutely. I think the thing with that campaign is that it was, the interesting thing about that campaign was that it's a national campaign where every household got a leaflet put through the door. And, we do need a national campaign now. We've got some brilliant HIV campaigns that are happening in Greater Manchester, but also across the UK. But national campaigns are really important. But that particular campaign had a lot of stigma to it. A lot of, I remember growing up as a gay man in the 80s. It just terrified me. And it stopped me from coming out. It doesn't encourage you to go and get a test. And I think in a way with HIV, we've made massive medical advances, huge medical advances in terms of the treatment that people can have. So, the key message for me is if you get tested, you then know your HIV status.
Yeah.
And, your HIV status, you can get on treatment and live a very, long and a thriving life. But stigma is we've got a long way to go with it, a long, long way to go with it. And a lot of people who are living with HIV, it can be difficult for them to sort of talk about their status. And it's a responsibility for all of us, not just people living with HIV. So we need to do a lot better on stigma.
Yeah. So what would be the ultimate goal then? Say 10 years time, if we have this conversation again, where would you hope we would be in regards to the stigma and indeed HIV?
Well, the government's launched an action plan today, national action plan, which they've got the aim of by 2030 to get to no more new HIV infections. So no more new HIV infections. And I would add to that, no more stigma either. So I think that's the exciting aim, is that, this generation now has the opportunity to end new HIV infections and end stigma. And we've got to grasp it. And the key thing for that is about us all working together. We've all got a role in that. So the LGBT Foundation, we try to do our bit absolutely in terms of HIV prevention, but it's all the community and all the partners that we work with, all the bars, fantastic organisations like the George House Trust and BHA for Equality that we work with. So I think World AIDS Day is a moment to remember, but it's also a real moment for us to think about how we really end this.
Well, it's absolutely something we all need to be thinking about and what we should be doing to end the stigma around AIDS and HIV. So thank you very much to everyone that came on the show tonight to talk about such a serious issue. Now for a bit of light and joy. It's like we said earlier, it's a bit chilly outside. And here with our weather, it's Paul Rudd.
Well, here we are at Alexandra Park in Oldham. It's one of Manchester's oldest parks, and guess what? It covers 60 acres. Now, I'm going to just take one moment before I start walking and look at this breathtaking view, just for the weather watchers. Hello my lovely weather watchers, and welcome to this week's weather forecast with me, Paul Rudd. And it's the first sign of Christmas. Pinch punch, it's the first of the month. I can't believe we're in December already. And I'm here at Alexandra Park this week. Well, what can I say? Storm Arwen has well and truly paid us a visit. We've had some snow for some of us, and we've even had terrible winds which have caused a lot of trouble as well. But let's crack on with this week's weather for Manchester. It's looking like a wet one again. Here are this week's details. Alright, Thursday is looking sunny and cloudy with the temperatures 5 degrees Celsius. Friday is looking like rain with the temperatures of 6 degrees Celsius. And as we very much look forward to the weekend right now, Saturday is looking like rain with the temperatures of 5 degrees Celsius. And Sunday will be singing in the rain again with the temperatures of 3 degrees Celsius. Alright, take good care out there. And now it's time to go back to the studio for this week's fabulous episode of From Me Here at Alexandra Park, your Manchester.
So there we are, everybody. It is, of course, now Pinch Punch, first of the month.
Decker Ginger, what?
I'll do that again. That was a good.
Sorry, Jamaican.
Oh, you beggar! Did it look real? Did it? Did it look real?
I connected and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have to say, why does Paul always dress so much better than us?
Because he's got the tinsel and the baubles to do it. He really has.
He really does. I can't deny that, actually.
No, we've got a marvellous show lined up for you next week, everybody. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you tell everybody that we're here Wednesday, 8 p.m, on the place where the city comes to talk. Yes, indeed. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
I'm going to run now. I'm going to literally run from here. If anybody's watching, I hope there is. If anybody's watching, there generally isn't, but if anybody's watching, I'm literally now running from here all the way to Eagle, everybody. So I'll catch you there.
Just in your best leather.
What?
Thank you very much for joining us on Your Manchester!